Hey, hi, hello. Welcome to Diana Emerson today. We're listening to Memphis Blues, Southern Gothic.
Memphis is a beautiful city on the banks of the Mississippi River. It's a southern hospitality, but we also find a troubled past. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated here. That's an indelible stamp on Memphis. After that happened, there's been a lot of tension when it comes to the Memphis police. She left and she never came back. The thing that hurt the most is she was killed by somebody she trusted. Every set of apples is always one that spoils a whole bunch. September 9th, 2008. A delivery driver goes to a local uh, convenience store, gas station, located in the eastern part of the city. There is a car in his way. It's blocking his access to make his delivery. Hey, come on, lady. Hey, you need to move it. Come on now. Hey, come on. Gotta go. There's up and checks this woman and sees blood. He sees that she's no longer alive, and this frightens him. He begins to call 911, wanting to get some type of help. As far as where the incident occurred, you're in an interstate and a main thoroughfare. There's a backyard burger restaurant, hamburger place on the south side of the gas station. On the north side of the building is a parking lot, and there's a blue vehicle there. When our officers arrive on the scene, they see the car parked there. How you doing? What's going on? I pulled up behind this car and I found her. And there is an African American female in the driver's seat. She's sitting up, but her head is kind of, tilted down onto her chest. Because obviously she was deceased. She had been shot. There appeared to be at least 3 entry wounds to the upper right torso and the head. 335 to dispatch. I get 29 on Tennessee. First thing you do is run a tag, see who's registered to, see if you find an ID, like with a picture on it. We found our victim's identification in the purse. Our victim is Phyllis Malone.
Phyllis Renee Malone was born in Memphis on December 19th, 1976.
She grew up in South Memphis, over in an area called Soulsville. Soulsville is well known for Stax music. Just had the rhythm of the city. For a lot of people, some of Soulsville is a little struggle, but it's still a close-knit group of people who have raised generations of families that lived in that area.
Her hardworking mom raises 8 good kids.
Our childhood was wonderful, and a wonderful childhood. There was a lot of love and laughter. But we were like good time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we were close. Happy family, you know.
But when Phyllis is only 5, her mom dies of a sudden aneurysm at just 36 years old.
Don't nobody know you like your mama know you. That's all we had with our mothers, you know. And I ain't ever gone. I want to say all of us was hurt. But I think emotionally, Phyllis was the one that was probably hurt the most. Goodness to God. It's hard and rough growing up without a mom.
Despite the difficult childhood, Phyllis eventually becomes a proud mother herself, 5 times over.
Phyllis was always taking care of her kids, and she loved her kids. She wanted to be, kind of like do the motherly thing with her kids. My mom, she was very sweet. To me, a fun day would be just her cooking. And, she would have the music so loud, and I'd be happy just to be at home.
Hey, Mom, can I help? Yes, I'm glad I'm not the other day on this ready. It smells good in here.
I remember us just dancing, and it's like a memory that's always stuck with me. And I was so happy. I was so happy.
Phyllis is a great mother, but she doesn't always choose the best men to date.
She was looking for stability and somebody to help her with her kids, someone that she can love and he love her. Someone that she can be a family with. I think it was hard for her to have 5 kids and to be trying to do things on your own. It was very hard.
Phyllis loves her kids like her own mom loved her. But then, just like her mom, she's ripped from her children's lives without warning.
No, still details. Delivery guy pulled up behind the car.
We found no firearms in the vehicle. No weapons like that. As far as the vehicle damage, no, there was no bullet holes in the vehicle.
There are no spent cartridge casings on the scene. If you don't have a casing, you're looking at possibly a revolver.
We knew that the shooter wasn't across the parking line. We knew pretty much that they were right up on the car.
Based on the blood and the patterns, it appears that he was outside the car and shooting into the car.
She had her shoes off. I know the passenger side front window was rolled down. First thing that comes to mind is a drug deal. You're meeting somewhere to buy drugs in exchange for money or whatever.
Perhaps she was with someone that she wasn't supposed to be with. Or maybe it's a robbery gone wrong.
You start looking for those signs. But in this case, purse is in the car, contents are in the purse.
So the cell phone back here either.
Sure.
Yeah.
But there's no cell phone. Who doesn't have a cell phone anymore? So that would lead you to believe somebody took her cell phone.
There was no physical evidence that we could find on the scene that tied anything to a suspect at that time. And it wasn't like that as something that just happened in the last hour. She had been there for a few hours.
An employee at the nearby restaurant says they closed around 11 o'clock the previous night and did not reopen until after 6 a.m. They also report Phyllis Malone did not work at the gas station or restaurant.
No one saw anything, no one heard anything. That leads us to believe that this occurred when everything was closed down.
Investigators hope the gas station security cameras captured the murder.
There was video cameras up on the business, but they did not work. So we didn't catch any video. No.
When you get finished up here, you'll give dispatch a call. I'm sending a tow truck to take it back to the station.
Copy.
Around 7 a.m., the coroner's office removes Phyllis's body for forensic examination.
And we took Ms. Malone's vehicle to our crime scene investigation office. And it's a controlled environment where we can examine the vehicle with all the equipment you might need.
Before police have a chance to find an informed family, news of an unnamed homicide victim ripples through Memphis.
A body has been discovered in a gas station parking lot on Wooden Road here in Memphis. Police have not yet commented on the crime.
They were like, they found a woman in a car days. She had been shot in the head. So I said, man, it's cold blood. Somebody killed a woman, shot a woman in the head. I can't believe it.
You don't think it's one of your loved ones. You just think somebody, oh my goodness, they found somebody. I went in the room.
Mom? Mom, are you in here?
And I know usually my mom will be there. If I walk in the room, she's there.
And she wasn't there this morning, and she wasn't answering her phone. It was just Brandon. It wasn't going to voicemail. It was just Brandon. And I just remember thinking, like, what's going on? Like, I just remember panicking.
The panic is about to get worse.
Notifying the family is gut wrenching. It's hard to do. And you're sitting there witnessing it. Phyllis Malone was found deceased in a vehicle at the Shell station at Appling Road in Interstate 40. She had been shot multiple times. Members of the Memphis Police Department Homicide Bureau were going to notify the family.
I had just picked my kids up from school, and my phone rang. It was my neighbor. He said, "The detectives are at your house about your sister." Luckily, I was down the street, so I pulled up to the house.
Well, there's nothing we can say, of course, but I'm so sorry.
What's going on?
It's very hard to break that news to a family that has no idea. It's troubling. It's terrible.
He said, "Phyllis, we found Phyllis in her car, deceased." I couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk. I was just like in disbelief, like, oh my God. I really just lost my mother.
I felt numb. Couldn't believe. Only thing then, I just want to know who did.
I know this is a difficult time, but family knows this victim. They know who they date. They know where they go. They know their habits. So we try to feed off the family, get as much information as we can. Can you think of anybody that want to harm?
The only thing I could think of, she was fighting with her ex lately. And I told him, I was like, I can only think of one person. That's the baby dad.
What are you doing here? I'm here to see my kids.
That's my younger sister's father. But they was having their issues. So that's who I thought it was.
A couple of months prior, there was actually a domestic violence dispute.
She was trying to turn her life around, do better. So she figured that, you know what? We ain't gonna go through this. We're not gonna do this.
What are you doing? I'm not yelling no more. Why are you calling the cops and getting them all in our business?
I just, no, I know how to get you out of my house. I know how to get you away from me. I just call the police.
It happens. People get out of control. Next thing you know, they're killing their boyfriend or their girlfriend.
Excuse me, what's going on here?
He just needs to go. I asked him a long time ago to go.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the premise.
Money, passion, jealousy, those things are always good motives.
I just figured that maybe he just wanted to get rid of her.
Then, Alexis remembers someone else.
Well, last night she was getting dressed up and getting her hair done. She was gonna go see if this new guy.
One more pin and then I'm done. Can I get it?
It looks really nice.
Can't wait to see it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Can I see it? Yes. Oh, yes. Go for it.
Even that night, my aunt Kalanda, she did the both of my hair. And I remember my mom was telling her, oh, I got this man friend. He's so cute. And she was getting her hair done for him.
You are glowing.
Isn't she? She looks so good. Just like, I'm happy to see that.
I remember her getting dressed to even go see him. And I'm just like, okay, well, she's going to be gone for a minute.
Anybody have a name for this new guy?
No, just, I'm sorry, no.
And I remember running to the backyard. And I just remember just sitting back there. Hair got her hair twisted, and it was very pretty. When I found out she was murdered, I couldn't even bear to look at it. I was like, oh my God. And I just took it down.
Word of the killing continues to spread through the tight-knit community of Memphis.
Whenever you run into everybody in Memphis, you just pretty much call them cuz. You know, it's like this huge family.
So even those not directly related to Phyllis feel the loss.
This is someone who was raising a family, someone who was loved, who was cared for, and someone just left her in the middle of nowhere just to suffer and die.
8 hours after Phyllis was found dead, investigators follow up on their best lead, Phyllis's ex-boyfriend, who allegedly had a troubled relationship with her.
Everybody knows that domestic violence situations can get out of hand real quick and into murder fast.
You know Phyllis Malone? Yeah, I do. Were you aware she was murdered last night? What?
We did inform him that Phyllis had been murdered.
He was stunned, saying they have a child together, and he wouldn't do anything to harm the mother of his child.
Can you account for your whereabouts last night? Yeah, I was at work. My manager has my time card. You can check with him.
At the end of the day, it appears that he is being truthful about where he was and the fact that he's not responsible. We were able to eliminate him as a suspect.
He had absolutely nothing to do with it. You know, and sometimes people can be good, they just can't be good together, if that makes any sense.
Detectives turn to the physical evidence found inside Phyllis's vehicle.
We found the things that you would expect to find, wallet, billfold, ID, credit cards, debit cards.
I started looking in the purse, and I found a folded up piece of paper, and I unfolded it, and it was a letter she had written. And she had mentioned in there how she was seeing this guy. Y'all need to come read this.
Investigators wonder, was it written to the man she was supposed to meet the night before?
The police began to read the letter and question whether or not this letter was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Turns out Phyllis had a powerful secret.
It was like something that was so shocking to me. I was like, who is this man? If it wasn't for that letter, we probably would have never known.
Memphis police are investigating the murder of 31-year-old Phyllis Malone. This woman who had been killed was just sitting in a car.
Detectives have now found a handwritten letter in our victim's purse. And we're very hopeful this will lead us to our killer.
The letter mentions that she's pregnant. She begins to question the person that she wrote the letter to, wondering what would he do about it.
It talks about the difficult decisions that the woman is faced with being pregnant and whether or not to follow through or terminate the pregnancy.
We don't know if she's pregnant. We don't know. Just going by what's in the letter.
We don't know when this letter was written. It's not signed. It's not even dated.
The letter is addressed to Chansey. That's all it says. It doesn't have an address or a full name. Now we have a direction. We just got to find out who Chansey is.
Let's take a seat right here.
The decision was made to call Phyllis's sister down and have her come to the office. When we processed Phyllis's car, we happened to find this note in her purse.
The family can confirm that it's her handwriting. So now we know this letter is from Phyllis to someone named Chansey.
They asked me, did I know someone named Chauncey? And I was like, never heard of her. She had recently became single, so she was dating.
Did you know she was pregnant and she was killed?
She didn't tell me. I didn't really know she was pregnant. And to be honest with you, I don't know. Maybe she was hoping.
I know she probably wanted to settle down. And I understand, like, she probably didn't want to bring a man around her kids just yet.
So now the question remains whether or not Phyllis is pregnant, but no one will know until they do the autopsy.
She didn't say that the guy that she got her hair made up for might be named Chancey?
No, she just said he was cute.
Thanks for coming in.
They gave me their card and told me that if I have any more information, to call them. Hell, and I started working my phone. I'm calling my siblings because a lot of us know bits and pieces about Phyllis. So I figured with all of us together, we can figure out something.
Victims' families are very vital in helping work a homicide investigation.
Yeah, his sister now is calling friends, other family, trying to get all these different pieces of information to help put the story together for us. And the reality is she can get this information quicker than we can.
Memphis is huge when it comes to family. A lot of people here, they come from large families. Someone is kin to somebody who's kin to somebody who's kin to somebody, one way or the other.
One of my other sisters was in the car with Phyllis that night. Phyllis was taking her to work, and she was on the phone with him. And she said Phyllis was supposed to meet him. She said that she was going to meet Mr. Jones.
And then the sister tells Ophelia something shocking about him.
A police officer. I knew my mom liked the men with uniform.
For a lot of women in Memphis, you want a provider, you want a hero. You want someone who's going to be a protector, that's going to have your back and is going to be there for you, especially when you have kids.
As Ophelia calls more friends, startling details emerge.
Phyllis came over and she was telling me she had met this police guy and she wanted me to meet him. She really liked him. She left and I'm thinking she was going to meet him, but she never came back.
Ophelia is stunned. Could this officer really have harmed Phyllis?
But you know, you think like this police officer, he wouldn't, do anything like that.
That afternoon, Ophelia uncovers one more crucial piece of the puzzle.
My neighbor, who was a police officer, he came to give his condolences and asked me, do they know who did this? I was like, no. I was like, but she had a note addressed to somebody named Chauncey. I said, I don't know what Chauncey. I said, but I do know she's dating a police officer. His name is Jones. And he said, I work with Chauncey Jones.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Everybody knows each other. Like, you can't go nowhere where you don't know nobody. You gotta know somebody.
When Ophelia and the neighbor put the two and two together, and they figured out that Chauncey was Officer Jones, it was a mess. Here's this man who's been seeing your sister, who's supposed to be a protector of the city. Is he the murderer?
So I called the detectives back.
We do have an officer named Chancey Jones. We found him as an officer assigned to Range Station Precinct afternoon shift. He's been on about 3 years.
We have a database where we can pull up any officer on the police department, retired or active. And I found his name in there. And I researched him, found out that he was married and had a small child.
Digging through records, investigators discover a direct connection between Officer Chancey Jones and Phyllis Malone.
Phyllis and her ex had a domestic violence issue. And she called 911. MPD showed up.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the premise. Are you okay?
Chancey Jones. He responded to the domestic violence call involving Phyllis Malone just a couple of months before.
All right, don't hesitate to go home.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
He came to her house. She met him. She said, girl, this officer just came to my house and he left his number. He wanted to talk to her. And so I was like, for real, dude?
It was evident that we needed to get him in to talk to him.
We're confronted with the possibility that we are going to be arresting one of our own. That's unsettling and troubling for us as officers.
Of course, you look at that person as a suspect differently. Because you know for a fact that they're armed. They've got a city issue firearm. How are they going to react?
So did Officer Chancey Jones kill Phyllis Malone? After a cold-blooded murder, police have found a letter in Phyllis Malone's purse, and the letter is addressed to a man named Chancey.
The family indicates that she was dating a police officer recently, someone that they refer to as Officer Jones. What is interesting is we have an officer named Chancey Jones at the range precinct. Doesn't mean he's the one that did it, but it means that Officer Chancey Jones has to be investigated.
Memphis police officer Chancey Jones reports for duty at 2 p.m. on September 9th, 2008, 8 hours after Phyllis was found murdered.
They waited till after roll call, where all the other officers were not around, to bring him in.
We want to keep that discreet and away from his co-workers and partners. They may not realize the scope of what's going on. They may try to interfere in some way.
Officer Jones. Yes. Aboard.
Because he is a cop, they want to assume the best, but are ready for the worst.
Okay, we have nothing that says we don't have to arrest you type thing. We just want to talk to you.
But you have to respect the fact that he's carrying a firearm.
Chancey Jones does cooperate. He agrees to speak with us. Interrogating a police officer is fortunately not something that we've had to deal with very often at all.
They question whether or not he knew Phyllis. He says yes, but it was only because of the domestic violence call that he was called in on.
It was like a 1083. About a few minutes ago.
Officer Chancey Jones has responded to help Phyllis Malone a couple of months before while she's going through a domestic violence situation.
And in the course of that call, he exchanged phone numbers. And then he began a relationship with her.
It's not appropriate, it's not professional, but it does happen because police officers are humans first. We have flaws like anyone else.
When was the last time you saw Phyllis? Last night?
While he was at work, she called and asked to meet him, and he agreed to meet her later and met her at a gas station. He initially acts like he doesn't really remember what they talked about, but yet he remembers in great detail other things that happened earlier in the day.
I think there's more to this than you're telling me. I mean, we found a letter in her purse with your name on it.
We have this letter. We know what the topic is going to be at the time that they meet.
I'm pregnant. Is your baby?
He says that she confronts him with being pregnant. They discuss this back and forth, and he says he wants to have some time to think about his decision.
According to Jones, Phyllis then raised the stakes.
She presses him a little bit more and says, I'll tell your wife.
That was our strong reason to point fingers at him and say, He's a good suspect in this case. That's blackmail.
Leave my wife out of this.
He says, last time I saw her, she was fine. We parted ways and everything was good. That type of thing.
Officer Jones, I don't believe it.
Detectives keep up the pressure. Nearly 3 hours into the interrogation, Jones changes his story.
Chancey then goes and he tells the officers he will tell them all that they need to hear. But he also mentions that she, Phyllis, was trying to kill him.
And then she just freaked out. She revved her engine and tried to run me over.
I was trying to leave and she acted like she was going to hit me with a car. So he has to shoot her to defend himself. His story. He admits to shooting her 2 or 3 times. But he still tries to minimize it by saying it's self-defense. He does admit to taking her cell phone, and when asked about the weapon he used, he said he threw it in the Mississippi River. That's probably the most common thread with all of our homicides. Where's the gun? I threw it in the river. If we could drain that river, it would be staggering the number of guns, cars, boats, planes, bodies that we might find in there.
Officer Chancey Jones, you're under arrest.
You don't want to be a police officer. On the other hand, it doesn't really matter. If this person did it, we're going to put him in jail.
We walked Chancey Jones down to the jail, booked him into jail, where he was charged with first-degree murder.
He is tarnishing our city, and that's not what we want in the Memphis Police Department.
You lead by example, and if you can't do that, then you got no business wearing a badge. That's just the rules we go by.
It will not be easy news for the Memphis community to hear.
This isn't like he's confronted with deadly force. He's defending himself. This is an off-duty incident. This is a personal thing. And that is something that is going to drive a wedge between the police department and the community.
It's a good day in the fact that we've apprehended a criminal. But it's always a sad day when you find out it's one of your own.
I remember having a press conference and letting them know that the recent homicide involving Phyllis Malone, we've made an arrest. That suspect is in custody. Unfortunately, it was a Memphis police officer, one of our own. And that's hard to swallow, but it is what it is.
Every set of apples, there's always one that spoils a whole bunch. It was a huge mess. Here's this man who's supposed to be a protector of the city who goes in and he kills her in cold blood. That's a lot to be said when someone takes the life of a woman and just leaves them there like yesterday's trash. It's the worst type of person that could do that to anyone. We want to see Memphis' finest come out on top. But when situations such as this happen, there's no top.
Because Jones is only charged with second-degree murder, the law allows him to bond out. The judge set the bond at $200,000.
On September 15th, 1 week after Phyllis Malone was killed, Officer Chancey Jones walks out of jail.
A lot of people were highly upset at the idea that this man got bail, was just roaming free. And he would keep roaming free until the trial. At that moment, this city felt as if this was just going to be pushed under the rug.
Memphis has a long history of tension between citizens and police. The perception of injustice fuels new fires.
If the public loses trust in its police officers, we have serious problems.
Benefit justice. Now, I already knew they want to do right. Because you're a police officer. And I don't believe in the justice system. I believe in the speech system. When it comes down to something like that, I want to kill it. And the only way I get and justice.
After the murder of Phyllis Malone and the arrest of police officer Chancey Jones, an autopsy reveals a stunning twist to a detail that might have started it all.
As far as autopsy results, when we received those, the autopsy revealed that she was not pregnant.
But maybe she believed she was pregnant. Or it could even be that she's telling him this because she wants to keep him in her life. And a pregnancy might be a way to do that.
But even in that, whether or not she was pregnant, that was not an excuse, not a reason for her to have been killed. You've already done, adultery, and now you've got murder to boot.
On September 17th, 2008, friends and family gather in Memphis to mourn Phyllis Malone.
Everybody was shook up, and then we was just trying to, keep calm and stay strong. Make sure our kids were straight. I remember at her funeral, there was so many people there that it was nowhere to sit. It was standing room only. She didn't know that she had that much love from people, or that she touched so many hearts.
Nearly 2 years later, in June 2010, Memphis police officer Chancey Jones finally goes on trial, charged with first-degree murder.
Known facts are that on September 8, 2008, Chancey Jones agrees to meet Phyllis Malone at this gas station after he gets off work.
They said that he had worked there previously. So he knew the store closed around that time and that no one usually be back there. She was dressed up and she was looking pretty. Because she was excited about seeing him.
We don't know exactly what was said between them, but from the content of her letter and what Chancey told us, that there was a heated discussion between them over pregnancy and the threat of exposing him to his wife.
She said, I'm going to tell your wife, but she didn't even know his wife. Now, that's what he said now.
The defense attorney was trying to claim that she tried to run over him. Okay. That did not happen.
The problem with that story is the location of the injuries on her body tell us where he was standing. And it's not in front of the car where he's in danger of being like that.
A blood spatter expert testifies that Jones must have fired through the open passenger side window.
The reason why he shot Phillips is because he wanted to. That's it.
A big part of this case is the fact that he doesn't shoot her once.
He executed my sister. He shot her in the side. To her stomach. He shot her here. And he shot her in the head. He wanted to make sure that she did not come out of that car alive.
Chancey Jones fatally shoots Phyllis Malone trying to destroy the evidence of this crime, and then act as if nothing ever happened.
The thing that hurt the most is she was killed by somebody she trusted. And to think that she was out there and no one could help her. She was just scared.
After a week-long trial, the jury delivers its verdict.
Well, the jury came back with not as charged with first degree, but lesser charged with second degree murder. First degree murder is premeditated murder, which means you planned it out.
I won't go so far to say as it was a premeditated, planned killing, but there's no doubt in my mind that he knew what he was doing. He made that decision and he did it. He's sentenced to 24 years in prison as a result of the conviction.
I'm so sorry that this is not fair.
That was very unfair.
I feel like because he's a police officer that they was lenient and gave him the 24 years. But if it was a regular person off the street, they would have been given life.
My sister always say Jim never supposed to hate anybody. But I hate him. Even like right now, as I speak on it hurts just the same as it did the day they told me.
It's hard now that I'm a mother because I feel like I want to do better. Like, I want to give my son the things that she wasn't able to give me because her life was cut short. I wanted her to see the woman that I became. Like, I wanted her to be with me, to experience me becoming a mother. I just wish she was here. I really, honestly do. I think life would be so much different if she was here. If she was here with us.